What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. It is cold, but not icy. So what would you do in those situations where you can't go fish because there's skim ice all over all your lakes, but it's not safe enough to walk on? You look longingly at your ice fishing lures that you wish you could be using. And you turn the camera on and then you show you awesome folks at home about them.
And buy gas station food and joke around about it.
Yeah, for more gas station reviews, go follow us on TikTok, Aggressively Average Anglers, AKA AA Anglers.
Aggressively average food critics.
Also that, subtly aggressive at everything in life. That's what we strive to be.
No, that's what we do.
We're pretty good at it. All right, so today we are looking at some ice fishing lures. They're different, promise you, than anything you're considering if you don't ice fish. And if you do ice fish, maybe you use some of these, maybe you don't. Yeah. Maybe you get some ideas out of this. Could be a lot of fun. So it's a little lure showcase. Lure showcase.
It's a tiny lure showcase. I would also say this though. Ice fishing is like a giant planet that like a lot of people probably don't think it's a giant planet. Just because the lures are small doesn't mean there's not a boat ton of them. So
like Pluto, yeah. R.I.P.
Not a planet. Dwarf moon. So
that's offensive.
So actually, we have a request along with sharing some information, showing you what you've got. The question that we have for you guys is, what are you guys using? What are some of your favorite ice fishing lures that we have not showcased that we should test? Or what's something that maybe you've seen that you're not sure, like, hey, is this legit or not, that you'd like us to go check out and try? We're super excited to try new things out, especially for some of the ice season. I think a big thing for us is messing around with some different tip-up rigs. We have 2 or 3 that we bought last year. We didn't have time to try. And then this season would have been sort of tip-up season. That would have been one of our main goals as far as, again, aggressively average anglers, trying to learn new things, try to dive deeper into new tactics, and this would be one of them. So let us know in the comments below what some of the lures that you think are really cool, that are some of your favorites, or some things you've seen that you'd like to try, and we will go and hit them up.
Cool, and if you enjoy the content, subscribe, smash that like, ring that notification bell, come back Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, when we go live for the Aggressively Average Anglers podcast. Lure me, bro.
Go ahead, pick away. Oh, wait, before we do that, before we show you any of the lures,
okay,
check out this freaking box.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys haven't seen these before, we do have a new partnership with folks over at Buzbe, and they make these boxes. This is one of the newest series. This is the, if you can see it, there it is, the Colony 8T. T stands for?
Tiny.
Tiny.
Just kidding. It's thin.
It is super thin though. So this is a much thinner version of their box. It's still incredibly heavy duty, even compared to like an ice fishing, or not an ice fishing, but like a fly fishing box, which those are heavy duty. Yeah. It is waterproof, still has the gasket around the outside, and it has a little ultra thin, tiny trays that fit inside and are movable. So if you're not familiar, again, these pop out. You can swap for different sizes. Do
like
your own,
Legos.
Yeah, do your own configuration. But yeah, this would have been something that we'd be testing out if there is ice this year, and will be. But if not, that's what we would have been. So anyways, that's the tiny box. I'm gonna keep calling it that. F the tin box.
Yeah.
I think this is great.
It's the tiny.
It's the tiny. So that's the AT. Anyways, what do we got?
And it floats if it falls into your ice hole.
Which, whatever. But ice is a lot more damaging than, water. And so it's nice to have a super heavy duty box.
True.
Anyways, what's inside? What's in the box?
We're gonna go from this side over here. Let's check a few of these out. So we have, first up, probably one of the biggest ones that I have for the ice. This is called the Wally Talker. This is from Lindy, and it makes a little dinner bell sound. So pretty sweet. Vertical jigging, you can imagine as this goes up and down with the tension from the water, you're gonna get that little ringing sound, and it truly does like draw fish in. We didn't go after like big fish last year, so I barely used this, but I did use the alternative version of this, which I'll show you real quick. Skipping over here. And I thoroughly enjoyed. This is the Perch Talker. So it comes in a bunch of different colors, all of these do. And the Perch Talker has this nice little chain, which you can swap out. You can just put the treble directly down there if you wanted to. But the chain is kind of nice. It gives you like this slow fall. It's red, so it gives something for fish to target. And I will say, like, red in the ice season versus open water season, to me seems to be like way more effective. I don't use red hooks barely ever in open water season, but in the ice, it draws them out. So you got a nice little target here that's kind of separated from the sound. So if you got some shy cold water fish, they're not going to be too worried about it. They're going to target that hook. And then you can put bait on all these hooks.
There it is.
The other thing you got to think about here is whether it's something weird that you're going to see in another one of our videos, like a mummified waxworm or real live waxworms, which is my preference. Like it works way better. Minnow heads, you know, all sorts of stuff.
That's why I think they're the best. So similar to another bait that you're going to see in here in a second, which is a different jig that has like a chain hanging down from it. I really think that it does its best work with like a minnow head or a live minnow on it. I mean, there's almost like too much to ignore.
Yeah, like the scent makes such a huge difference in the ice. You get a nice live, you know, bait on there.
Moving, right? So you're getting movement, you're getting sound, you're hitting like sort of all the different things. So I love it. Next up in the same little compartment, this is the Fish Lab Bio Minnow Jig. I'm gonna try and get a little bit close. Ow! Right in there. So the hooks are sharp, can confirm. Right through the callus.
It's a jig and wrap.
I'm trying to get it is a jig and wrap. So if you're familiar with the jig and wrap, it's one of the more probably, I would say, famous baits that are out there. But there is a twist on this one. So one, all of the jig type baits from Fish Lab, that includes the tailspin. They have awesome paint schemes and really high quality fit and finish. These are no exception. I think these have an extremely high level of fit and finish. But one of the unique things is instead of a plastic fully fixed fin in the back that Jeff's showing you, this one is made of metal, which is also unique, and it's adjustable. So you can actually move it around and tune it so that it's doing exactly what you want. I'll be honest with you, I am nowhere near good enough at fishing these baits to tune one to say, well, I'm swirling counterclockwise, wanna go clockwise? I have no idea. But maybe you are, and I'm sure there's plenty of videos if I personally know thousands of fishermen that are better than me at ice fishing, like I'm sure that, you know, somebody's out there who is that good.
It's probably millions.
And it's probably you. So if that is you, great. But this is a super heavy duty version, if nothing else, and a different take on a really cool looking jig. And obviously that silver back is going to take advantage of some light as well. So you're getting a little bit of a unique spin on a standard bait. And again, the fit and finish on those Fish Lab baits, especially the jig baits, the tailspin is like, it's really, really nice.
Yeah. The sad part is this came in late season last year, so we didn't even get a chance to fish it. Was hoping to get a chance to fish it this year. Might not happen. So we're going to talk about spoons for a second. You can use all sorts of them, like these Cleos or these Castmasters, or then you can get really cool ice fishing specific ones. So here are some ice fishing specific spoons.
Here's one that if you go into like a general store, anywhere where they have like some amount of ice fishing product for you to purchase, but not like a big selection, you'll see one of these. This is the, and it's almost, you kind of look at it and you're like, well, that can't really work. How and why would that work?
Which is what I thought until I caught a ton of fish on Lake St. Clair.
Just crushed them. This is the Sitka smelt stick. So it's actually a pretty heavy spoon. It's like it's really long and weighty lead spoon. And then there's like a chain, right? And then below that chain is a single hook. Again, why would a fish how would a fish get the hook when this is the thing that's there? It's a little bit counterintuitive, but the idea is this is really a live bait presentation. So I personally think this is a great minnow presentation. Half minnow, full minnow, minnow head, doesn't really matter. Something with some scent, I think, is what I'm looking for. It works with worms.
That's what we did last year. So we were tipping these with minnows, minnow heads.
Yep, and it works.
Them.
It works with worms, especially ones that are super like wiggly, right? Lively. Ones that are really alive.
And that's how we caught like 40-some perch.
A whole bunch of them. Crushed them. Dead stick, crushed them.
So, all right. Let's go to another weird one that we actually could use open water season. There's actually quite a few of these I'd like to try on the open water. So this is the Euro Tackle Live Spoon. They come in these like really natural colors. They have some like very vibrant ones too, but like this is like straight up bluegill, right? And it has this crazy little curve there as well as a bit of a rattle.
It's kind of loud. I think that's one of the louder ones out there.
It's definitely pretty loud. So it's giving you the sound, the look, the action as well with this curve to that spoon. You guys have ever fished spoons, like it's spinning a lot, it's doing a lot of different movement, and it falls totally different. This one also being like thicker bodied than your standard like just metal spoon.
It's big bodied.
Yeah, it's got a funky fall rate. So looks really cool on the way down. You're just sitting there just like jigging this thing. Didn't get a chance to fish it too much last year, but I did put it under the ice and it has some pretty cool action. I liked it.
And this is, so just as a general tip, the more curvature, the more like spoon-like, the more wavy a spoon is, it's meant for maybe a faster movement on the way up, like more of a flutter on the way up and more of a flutter on the way down. The straighter, less curvy a spoon is, the more it's maybe a dead stick spoon, and something that's really just meant for you to get like a weight on its way down. So like the smelt stick, super straight, not really meant for a ton of movement. Something like this, definitely meant for some movement.
The origami blade from 13 Fishing. So you can see those sharp lines there, and look at that.
Insane.
This thing has a ton of action. This is way too big for most of the waters that we fish for ice, so this is actually going to be open water fish this year. There will be some spoon fishing this year. Just for the 17 old guys out there that are like, hey, you never use spoons. So you know when you like walk into a tackle store and you're like, that looks neat. This is what I did when I got into ice fishing. I've had this one for a while. I haven't used it that much. But it's from Venom Lures.
So this is the 221. It's printed right on there from Venom Lures. It kind of looks like if Iron Man was like gonna design a spoon. Certainly got the color scheme down.
Yep.
So you got this like maroon, color along with this like creamy sort of gold pattern on there. But here's what makes this thing nuts. It has a rattle. It's very, very subtle. Really, it's like almost like a plastic BB with a really small chamber. It's not very loud.
You have to rattle it in front of your mic.
Oh, I know. You can't hear. They wouldn't be able to, even if we were dead silent.
They'll hear it. You heard it.
Hopefully you heard it. It's super subtle. Here's the crazy thing about this. So you see, your sort of standard line tie right there at the top, right? But then when you turn it, there's a whole separate one right there as well. So you get two options for movement. Interesting.
Changes the action.
Do kind of want to mess with it. And again, I would probably use some sort of clip or a loop knot. I wouldn't tie directly out of that.
I like clips, very, very small snap clips for ice fishing lures. And sometimes if you get like a premium one, you get a snap clip with it, so you can just like swap that out.
Yeah.
Kind of like this one. This is the leech spoon from Clam. Clam makes some fantastic lures. This is bright orange, and the light is probably washing it out, but you guys can see it's got, pretty standard spoon type shape to it. There is a little bit of this like curving in right here though, which is gonna add to that action. So you notice this one also has a dress treble, so you get this like streamer material, a little feathering there. It's gonna just liven this thing up. Also totally change up the action and the fall rate. You could swap that out for a regular treble if you want to, but you notice most of these other spoons just had the naked treble versus this one, right? So a little different. These also you can get in a 3-pack in different colors, which is cool, which is what I did.
They have a lot of great colors. This is one of my favorite spoons. It is not cheap, so I hate that about it. It's new. So yeah. I think this one came out 3 years ago, 2 or 3, I think it was 3 years ago.
Sure.
So new, relatively new. But honestly, I've caught more fish on that spoon than almost on any other one.
And the nice thing about, again, like I said, Clam, is they always give you these little tiny snap clips. Here's 2 more Clam products right here. So you can hold that one, Vanna.
Yep.
And I'll hold this one. So this is the Gens Small P. Gens is the guy we mentioned when we talk about Vexilar, right? The Gens pack. He's the OG, man. And this is a fantastic spoon. This would be one of my favorites. It comes with this nice wide gap single hook down at the bottom. And then again, thread on live bait. You're using a lot of live bait under the ice. It's very effective, and you're not gonna wanna go without it. Small P just gives you a really cool design. It's a little bit heftier. And I believe it's made out of a tungsten alloy.
It's meant to get down like super fast.
So it's made out of an alloy that helps it drop at a faster fall rate in the water. So we've mentioned Gens many times, run and gun style. That's what we do. So if I want to fish a spoon but not like wait 5 years for it to fall, I drop one of these guys, jig around with some live bait just to see if I can get some action under the ice, and then maybe I stick to that spot, maybe I move. That's how we make decisions on the fly.
Here's the exact opposite. So the small piece, super dense, really small, gets down quickly. This is the opposite. This is a slower sinking, really light, single hook spoon. You could definitely, I recommend tipping this one. It's gonna slow it down even further if you tip it with a waxy. And the flutter is insane. So because it's so small and it's got this really aggressive spoon shape, it's really concave. Not only is it wavy, but it's really concave. This is a really solid spoon. It's the exact opposite. So if the small P is not getting it done, but maybe you're getting some enticement, go and switch it up to something that's like totally different, such as the Flutter spoon.
And if you want a combination of a couple of the spoons that we showed off already, here's one from Euro Tackle. This is called the T-Flasher. So it's got this flashy dress treble down there. It comes in many, many different colors. So this is a darker, more natural color, which works better in our waterways. You might want to go brighter. You might want to change it up a little bit. They got all sorts of options. So you can see it's got like this nice premium eye, big wide line tie at the top, which is nice when you're threading 2 to 4 pound test line and it's really cold. Makes it a little bit easier. Little tiny treble off the bottom. This is a really cool spoon. It's got a little bit of weight to it. Again, it's that straight body, so it's more of a quick fall. Even with the dress treble, you can throw live bait on there as well, just to get that added scent. Maybe break up your waxy a little bit. But yeah, it totally works. Really cool spoon.
So here's one of the more, I would say, can I say famous? More of the well-known, one
infamous.
of the more, yeah, it's definitely infamous. One of the more well types of spoons out there, the Swedish pimple. So these are really cool. They come with how you know what you're dealing with is they come with this little attachment, this little red, almost like a flag, a little flap that attaches. Now, there's a lot of different versions of this spoon. Some of them have a hollowed out section in the middle. Some people like to put the flap like way up here, but they come with different colors and sizes of flaps. So when you buy one of these, they'll have a different hook sometimes. They'll have 2 or 3 different of those little flaps, these little attachments, and you can customize and make them however you want. These are one of the more effective spoons. They come in a lot of different sizes. They'll catch a variety of species. You absolutely can't go wrong, but you actually are going to pay for them too. They're not cheap, so they're maybe $2 or $3 more than like a regular spoon. But again, you're getting a lot of different pieces. Now, it can be annoying to have those little pieces because you can lose them, you can lose track of them. They're rattling around your box. However, I like to just throw all of the pieces that I'm not using into like a little baggie inside of my my tackle box.
Good call.
And then I can grab whatever I want whenever I want. So if I've got, you get to mix and match a little bit. So if I'm like, hey, purple's the one for today, that's the color that's working, but I have a red or a yellow flag on or something, just go grab a purple, it's sitting right there waiting for you. So there's a little tip, and also just like a really infamous, super great spoon. So if you see one of those on the shelf, don't hesitate to pay up for one and give it a shot.
Here's one that's a bit crazy. This is a Lunker Hunt Icy Glide. Well, I love how the treble, because it's on the split ring weird.
Shocking.
All right, here's a crazy one. This is the Lunker Hunt Icy Glide. So you got these little willow blades off of either side. You got your nice curved spoon shape there and a red treble. I've actually caught a decent amount of fish and targeted even like bass and pike on this. You might be surprised hearing that on this channel. But this, not bad. Kind of wacky when you see it. I wouldn't hesitate to grab it now. I think it came in a Monster Bass box.
No.
All right, last spoon I want to show you is an option that exists in the world. I haven't seen...
Because you're holding it?
Exactly. It has a hook on it. It can catch fish. I haven't seen like anything... Well, I haven't watched enough stuff on how to use these properly or like where these absolutely bang. So I have no idea. But this is the Bang spoon, so it should bang somewhere. I've tried it a whole bunch. This is from 13 Fishing, and it takes, there's a lot of these types of spoons out there, a little glow insert, right? So you have this little tiny glow stick, the classic ones, you break it and it lights up, right? So instead of like UV glow where you have to power it up, it's already powered up and it slides right into this slot here. You can see the hole right up front. There's a lot of different spoons like this. I got like one from Lindy. I think I have like 2 or 3, I don't know. So a whole bunch of different ones like this. And it's also flashy on its own. So you could use it on its own. It is definitely that straight body, super heavy type spoon. So you're gonna tip this with some live bait. It's gonna have a very quick fall rate, and then you're just gonna like tease out the fishies, right? The glow I haven't gotten yet. I don't understand. I can't compute. I'm like the projection in a beautiful mind. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So if somebody could explain that to me, or like where this is meant to be used, maybe it's like super deep water, dark conditions, night fishing. We used it night fishing. They didn't do anything. Nobody was catching anything either. No. So I guess I'll say that. But yeah, I have no idea.
The glow stick, I have no faith in. And you know what really gets me about the glow stick in general? It's the size. The size impact of having the glow stick like doubles or triples the size of the lure.
Spoon.
It's a big spoon. It's bigger than what I would want personally. Again, I'm not fishing larger fish, so like I'm talking panfish.
Here's the Lindy. It's pretty hefty.
But turn it.
Because you put that...
Look at how wide that is.
Yeah.
Turn it again to the side. The profile. Look, it's wide.
Yeah.
And then, and then it doesn't weigh very much either. I get it. There's nothing wrong with it. I know they work. It's just like I personally, it's not a confidence bait for me.
Somebody out there's a diehard glow stick fishing fiend.
Hit me up.
If you are, hit us up in the comments.
Tell me I'm dumb. I like being told that. It happens all the time.
Yeah, like literally every 5 minutes. You're dumb. All right.
There it is.
You're welcome.
We're gonna switch categories. We're moving off of spoons. We're gonna go to like body baits and really flat-sided type stuff.
Whoa.
Like that.
So that is the Euro Tackle Z Viber.
I have one.
These are really cool. They come in a million different colors. Paul and I both have like...
This thing is cool. I have a white one.
Yeah.
Oh, the white is so good.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different sizes of them. In fact, check this out. Hey! Look at it. That is the tiniest version, and it comes with either a treble option
Here's your single hook.
or a single hook.
So you can see inside there are some ball bearings moving around in there, some little BBs. It's a pretty cool bait. I like that it comes with a bunch of different profiles, like sizes. I like the single. Actually, I think this one was tipped with a plastic.
Yep.
When I pulled it out, honestly, it catches almost anything.
Yeah, and again, something I would use open water for panfish. Also, if you ever want to be the most angry you've ever been, try changing out those hooks on the tiny version. Have you ever seen a split ring that small?
You need surgical equipment to get it done. Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
Okay, so, that's not all the ice fishing lures in the world, but heck, it's most of the ones that we use regularly. So there's your little peek in the ice box. I do actually have a whole nother one, which is for big baits that we almost exclusively never use. Because
only when we make the drive up for big water, which again is pretty rare. I love pan fishing, and maybe it's because that's how I started. But I find it to be very fun. I love shallow water, like 20 feet below or less, 20 feet or less water.
Using inlines, the free fall
micro, tiniest stuff ever. Yeah. Some live bait fishing for sure.
Fun.
And then what I like about it is that you run the tip up out on maybe a weed line or a drop off nearby where you're fishing, and you just get to watch some flags and maybe catch a pike or a bass, catch one napping. And then at the same time, you get to just rip up a bunch of lips looking for those panfish, which taste good, and I love eating them, and I also love catching them. So it's kind of hard for me to walk away from that, but we do sometimes make the drive for some big water, so it does happen.
It's hard to beat, man. So there you go. There's a little peek at all the ice fishing lures that we're using. What are you using? Let us know in the comments below. And again, the call out from the beginning of the video is like, what are we missing? What is like the go-to staple? I can't believe you guys don't fish with this.
100%.
Let us hear that in the comments below, and maybe we'll pick it up for the 2024 ice fishing season. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, smash a like, and ring that notification bell. Please come back Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. I've never said please before, so like now.
I say please a lot. I feel like I'm pretty polite with the request.
I haven't been polite. I apologize. See? It's
more demanding.
Join us, 8 p.m. Eastern, or whoa! I didn't go that far. Please join us Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern when we go live. It's a ton of fun. We do schmivaways.
The thing where like, we'll send you something like to your house, and we won't make you pay any money for it.
Request $0.
Yeah.
Anyways, so if you like the sound of that, you should probably go there, and we'll see you on the next Wednesday. All right.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.